today at the Steamtown National Historic Site in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I didn't even realize that there's a National Historic Site in downtown Scranton. This is essentially like right off of downtown, and it is still a working train yard. And so they've got a train museum here, they've got a history museum, and they've got a trolley museum. The National Park Rangers were so nice. They gave me some trading cards, and some of the visitor centers closed right now, but they still, there's some construction undergoing, but they can hear a train horn in the background. There's still the history museums open and the turntable, so I'm gonna go check it out.
Welcome to the Adams Family Travelers. Join us as we use our vacation days to travel around as much as we can and enjoy exploring the world. Make sure you join us on our adventures, especially our adventures traveling through our home state of Pennsylvania.
So behind me is the turntable, which they would use to move the trucks or the trains around. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if I've ever seen a turntable before, so it's really neat that there's one right here in Scranton. And I don't know, I'm not a big train person, but this place is pretty cool, all the old trains. And if you are a train person, I mean, it was free to enter here. They do have train rides that you can pay for, but if you're just exploring the National Historic Site, it's free, which you can't beat. The Technology Museum, and there's a bunch of trains in here, and I think they're talking about there's stuff about the roundhouse from 1902, and just talking about the train technology and how it advanced. So pretty cool. There's a video in here saying that Scranton became a big city because of the railroads going through here, and you got to go into a freight car and see what it's like. And they also talked about how more technology is being used to take freight. We're using trains. We're starting to use trains again. This is a working rail yard, so that's kind of a neat way. Most of the technology museum is closed, unfortunately. A lot of the exhibits here are closed. They are doing construction, so keep that in mind. But I definitely have to come back when it opens back up, but there are still stuff open here. So I'm in the roundhouse now. It definitely smells like diesel in here, but there's a bunch of old trains in here, so I'm gonna check them out. A bunch of signs telling you like what's going on in these buildings. So the roundhouse, it told me, was where they used this to repair the locomotives, and they're still using this today. So that's why I can smell diesel in here, because it's not being used right now, but they still use it to repair locomotives. like the Roundhouse area. You get to go on a catwalk and walk over and view all the trains on the floor. And they have placards explaining, you know, each train. So you can really learn a lot of information here, and I'm sure this would be great for a train enthusiast. So I'm now in the History Museum, so I'm gonna explore and learn about what the exhibits that they have in here. Wow, this is a mail carrier train. It's really neat to see inside. So in here is like a replica, I don't know if this is the actual building of a old train station, what it looked like. So I've gone through the things that are open, the round table, the History Museum, and the technology, part of the technology exhibits. It's only taken me about a half hour. This is definitely interesting. I didn't read a lot of the things. I wouldn't go out of my way to come here, but if you're in the Scranton area, come check it out. And you can actually ride trains here, so you can stay here longer. And then once the construction is done and they open up all the exhibits, I'm sure you can spend a lot more time here. So I was kind of in the area already, so it worked out, but definitely a fun thing to check out, see about the history of trains. Not something I see. I really like the turntable and getting to go in the mail train. That was pretty cool. Those were my favorite parts. So I'm gonna go check out the gift store and then be on my way. But thank you for watching.